What's going on, guys, and welcome back. So today it's May. We're updating our Cyber Dragon deck profile, and this is pure, guys. No dragoon this time. We've been playing on Dueling Book for the past few weeks, doing really well. I have another high ranked replay for you guys where I went against a Dragon Link player who was, I believe, like 1060 or something like that. I had the Prank Kids one and a couple other replays already posted to the channel, so make sure you go check those out if you would like. I'm going to pretty much jump right on into it pretty quickly here, but as the title says, and you can see it, if we hit 1,600 subscribers by the end of this month, which is very doable, by the way, guys. I can see how many aren't subscribed, and this is very doable. I'm going to give away one of my Ultimate Rare Overload Fusions. I only use the one, I don't need the others, so we're going to give one away if we can hit that goal. And yeah, so that's that. If you guys watching who are not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because that's all we need. A few of you guys, hit it. Hit the bell while you're at it down there too. Without further ado though, jumping on into the deck profile, we're going to have 3 Cyber Dragons. That's pretty standard in a dupe build. If you're playing dupe, you're probably playing 3 Cyber Dragons. 3 Cyber Dragon core. Heart and soul of the deck, it's the core of the deck. It's our starter. It's really the only starter. Emergency gets you to core, so emergency can be a starter as well. Banishing from the graveyard, again, starts your plays. Card's crazy. Card's best normal summon in the game. Like, who's Alistair? Core's best summon. 3 Cyber Dragon Hers, card's best extender in the deck, bar none. Not only does it net you back your core, if it goes to the grave and core's in the grave, it can also net you back one of your 2 copies of Naxter. I tried playing it at 1 a lot, but like, it's nice when you can search into one when you need it, or if you draw into it or you have it and you can save it for your follow-up play. But sometimes too, it's also really nice to be able to banish core to summon one. But like I said, sometimes you want to be able to search it, because sometimes you'll have a monster on board, so you can't use core's graveyard effect. And then, you know, I don't want to just search my 1 copy, because the graveyard effect is a crazy recovery play when you summon your Naxter and revive, like your Rampage, your Nova, your Infinity, any of those awesome machine extra deck monsters that we have. So I do really like the 2 Naxters for those reasons. Then we're playing controversial here, I know. 3 Galaxy Soldiers, because I want to open it, I want to see it, and a lot of people like negate the search when it hits the field. They'll negate it, and then you have a brick in deck anyway. So if it goes through, you have a brick in deck. I mean, either way, you can have a brick in deck. Repair Plant can help you play around that, play through that. Otherwise, it's still discard fodder for Naxter, or it's also still, you know, a machine. It's a light, it's level 5, and you can discard a different light monster to the grave. Like, you draw into your last one late game, and say you happen to have Hers in hand and core in grave. You can discard Hers, summon Galaxy Soldier, you're not going to get a search. Then you get your core back, and you can normal summon your core and search again and get whatever you do need to help extend your plays. Grab a Rev System at that point, revive a level 5 Cyber Dragon, boom, Nova. Easy. 3 Galaxy Soldier though, really like it. And I'm not playing much for hand traps, so I do play double Kaiju and 1 Pankratops. It's just some really good going second monsters, boss cards, things like that. So being able to Kaiju your opponent's Dragoon, Kaiju your opponent's Winda if you didn't special summon yet that turn, Kaijuing their Battle Butler so they don't blow up your field twice. There's a lot of things that you can Kaiju that it's just really good, and I like seeing it. Pankratops, also really strong. Oh, Kaiju too, with Dark Ruler. Like, Dark Ruler plus Kaiju, broken Dragon Link board. Easy, broken. Pankratops then too. Card's really good, you know. Nothing wrong with a special summon beater that's 2600. Quick effect to pop a card. It's kind of good, especially in back row matchups. And I don't know if you guys play Cyber Dragon the way I do, but I have a lot less trouble with monster boards than I do back row boards. The only hand trap I am opting to play, however, Triple Drone Lockbird. Card's crazy. It's good versus Dragon Link. It's good versus Dinos. It's good versus Shaddoll Invoke Dogmatica. It's good versus Invoked. It's good versus Dogmatica. Really, the only poor matchup for Dragoon is some Eldritch variants, But even then, sometimes they'll still search or draw once or twice, so you can at least prevent one thing from hitting. But I would definitely side it out in the majority of those matches. So Droll Knockbird is the only hand trap we're opting to play. 3 Cyber Emergency. Again, it's basically a starter. It's access to core, it's access to Naxxar, it's access to hers. And actually, a handful of times I've used it to search out Cyber Dragon, especially if they have like Makaba on field or like Zeus, because then you just force the Zeus or you force the Makaba. Actually, if they have a Zeus, search hers, because then you can normal summon the hers. They Zeus, you search Cyber Dragon, special Cyber Dragon, they Zeus, and then either you can try to extend at that point because their Zeus may or may not be burnt up, or play it from there depending how many materials it has. But otherwise you can special summon that Cyber Dragon, contact fuse away the Makaba, and not have to worry about that either. So I do search the level 5 once in a while off our emergencies. Other cyber cards, we have our Repair Plant, our Rev System, and basically Cyber Dragon card, our Overload Fusion. So 2 Kaijus and Galaxy Soldier. I still like the 1 Repair Plant. You could play 2 so you can search a Kaiju, but searching Kaiju, Soldier, like at 3 and 2, you can already open one or the other a decent bit, and you can just search the other one. And the 1 Repair Plant's been really good for me. The deck's been super consistent, so I wouldn't bump that to 2 just yet. It'd take a lot for that. The 1 Rev System card's insane. I search this card all the time, like Core plus Dupe versus like back row board where I know they have Dogmatic of Punishment or something like that. Like nobody ever reads Rev, and like I'm talking like even high ranked players don't read Rev. I can't tell you how many times like I've been battle butlered. Punishment or Conquistador too is another pretty relevant destruction. But normal summon core, link for Almirage, then you rev core back because you searched it off your core, and then you dupe. And I've had so many people try and pop core, and it's just like, oh, okay. Rev System protects it, and then they just can't really do anything. I mean, you'd have Almirage too to protect at that point, but obviously you needed to revive that core, or you would not have a target. And 2, even a couple times I've had them not do it, and then you get to summon your 2 Cyber Dragons, and then they try to like send in Tis or something like that, but then you just chain Almirage at that point, and you can protect the Cyber Dragon so it don't get destroyed, and you're going to keep at least 2 monsters on board. Worst case scenario, make a Verde, make Rampage. You can do a handful of plays then at least still. Overload Fusion, send it off Verde. If you happen to open it, card's crazy, really good extender. We do have a build coming where we're playing more than 1 copy, so make sure you stick around for that. 3 Machine Dupe, like I said, we're playing the dupe build. If you play dupe, play it at 3. I get people say play 2 so you can resolve 2 in a game. That's it. Well, I mean, I've actually resolved 3 in a game. I've resolved 3 in a turn before summoning 2, 2, 1 when you open like Repair Plant, crazy cards, Cyberload Fusion, shuffle stuff back. Obviously not with this current list, but Machine Dupe's just crazy. Like, you want to open it so you play 3. If you play 2, you're less likely to open it, and you're more likely to brick on it later. Like, it's just, there's nothing mathematically, statistically, or just common sense correct about playing 2. I heavily disagree with it. If you're gonna play less than 3, play 0. You can, however, play multiple Cyber Dragons without dupe. I'm not opposed to that in a format where we have Zeus and Makaba everywhere. They're machines. It's a free summon, and odds of opening 2 aren't very good. 3 Dark Ruler no more. I can't afford droplets, and I don't know if I would play it, to be honest, because this card's just crazy, turning off like Dragon Link board, and oh, they have Tiding now, and they chain Hot Red. Oh, okay, cool. Like Seal Savage, Hot Red, and Tiding. They full comboed against me. Dark Ruler, chain Tiding, bounce Boot Sector, then activate Hot Red, negate Dragon Ruler. Okay, I can play through Steel Savage like nothing. That's bread and butter. That's easy. So like 1 card. Not only that, now I can deal damage too. Like playing through 1 negate and 1 bounce is not too bad. It's not too hard. Like I said, if you open this with Kaiju, it's just free. You win that game. Then the best removal card or like going second card in the game right now, bar none. Super Poly's crazy. You think Dark Ruler's good? Super Poly crazy. And like, what do you do versus that board we just mentioned with Dragon Link? Because a lot of time, if they can't make Savage and Hot Red, what do you Super Poly when they end like Seal Savage or Seal Hot Red with Tiding? Well, as soon as we summon a Cyber Dragon, they have to use Seal because they know they're going to lose it to a Mega Fleet, so they tribute it to summon out like a Brotar, discard a card, get Levineer for another follow-up option, and guess what? Now they have 2 Dark Dragons on board. The Dragon part a little less irrelevant for the targets we run, but they got 2 Dark monsters on board now, so just the fact that we're playing Cyber Dragons, we force them into Super Poly, which is pretty crazy. A couple 2-ofs we were playing. 2 pops. I don't have a third, but if I did, I don't know if I'd play it. If I played it, it's the whole dupe theory where I want to open it, but I don't necessarily want to open it. It's kind of like a placeholder card where the deck could use a little extra consistency, and you can dig 6 deep. A lot of time I do 3. Unless I already have everything in my hand, I got everything I need out of the extra deck already, then I'll do 6 just to dig and grab whatever I need. Or if they like full comboed, or sometimes too you just want to force a negate with a Prosperity, so you do 6 to force the negate because it's like, oh, he needed 6, he's got to get something good. And if they don't, and you like pop into Dark Ruler or Super Poly, and then it's just game over at that point, because you don't need to win that turn. Like with Dark Ruler too, I've said it so many times, I don't care about OTKing, I care about winning. Like that's just kind of my competitive standpoint on that. But it too, also, you're less likely to draw into a dead one late, 'cause if you do 3 and 3, that's really easy to resolve both. And then double Cosmic Cyclone, best removal card, like back row removal card in the game, just because it doesn't destroy, it banishes. Quick play too, like chain it to Schism, good game. Like you're gonna be in a really good power position after that, assuming you open it halfway decent. Otherwise, you already lost anyway because you didn't open halfway decent. But if I had Lightning Storms, I would side them. Right now, I have Hate Trunade as a potential option. It's not really the same at all, but being able to put everything back into their hands, so now you're free to go for your OTK, is pretty good. But yeah, so that's my budget alternative to Hate Trunade. If you can't afford Prosperities, Phantasme is a pretty good budget option there as well. So pretty good budget options. And if you're not playing Cosmic and you want Lightning, play Cosmic. It's not only better, it's a lot cheaper. Unless you want ultis. Ultis are pretty expensive. So that's 39 cards, and you have to play 40, right? Playing 40 is the best. Playing 40 is what you need to do. I guess I disagree. I don't mind going over 40. I've seen people say like 40 is objectively correct in any deck to be most consistent. Any deck playing Dragoon, 41 will be more consistent than 40. If you put in 1 extra extender, it's going to be more consistent because now you have, that 1 more extender and 1 less chance of drawing a brick. Theoretically, if your deck has 37 extenders and 3 bricks, and my deck has 57 extenders and 3 bricks, who's going to draw into bricks more? Like, if you just add extenders to go over 40, your deck's going to get more consistent. That's just how it works. And say, if you have the trick, if going over 40 that hurts, is a lack of starters. If, say, you have 40 and, just keeping your ratios, like if you had 1 starter, 3 extenders, or like 2 starters, one starter, 3 extenders, 1 hand trap, like a disruption card, and you just kind of keep that 20, 60, 20% ratios on your disruption, your extenders, your starters, things like that, your deck's not really going to change at all as far as how consistent it is or how often you draw into those types of cards. So just think of that more so when you are deck building. If you're going over 40, are you just adding extenders to not see your bricks, or are you just trying to add differences to the deck, but you don't want to hurt your consistency? Then look at how many starters you have now, how many extenders you have now, how many going second cards you have now, and like just break it down to an easy percentage, like in fives, like that, like 20, 40, 60, 80, and add your one starter, your three extenders, your one going second card, or two starters, one extender, two going second cards. However you want to add it, look at it that way. But now that we drug that out long enough, anyone new to the channel, I like to go pretty in depth and explain things. A lot of people like that here because I could just say, oh, 3 Cyber Dragon, 3 Core, 3 Hers, 2 Naxxer, 3 Soldier, 2 Kaiju, 1 Pankratops. Okay, 3 Droll, that's the monsters. Get them if you don't got them, guys. And then run through the spells and traps, and then you're like, wait, why do you play that? Like, what's the line of play? What if I can't afford that card? I like to cover that all and go through it just right away. Extra deck, Mega Fleet, Fortress, and Fortress. So we already mentioned Makaba and Zeus being pretty popular in the format, so I really like the two. We're playing 2 Kaijus too. Like, it's just really good removal. It's free. Otherwise, we have our 1 Rampage as our target for Overload Fusion. Makaba is our Nova target, because if you get Nibiru'd on Nova, or Dogmatic or not punishment, but Maximus, or just if they pop Nova for any type of way, you just get a free Makaba out of it. And then Super Poly targets, 1 Starving Venom, 2 Dark Monsters, pretty easy. El Shaddai Construct, I heard Winda plus Makaba equals Construct, so just an idea. And you can actually technically, if you have a spell, obviously, to negate, because like as soon as they summon Alistair, if you went first and you have a Cyber Dragon on board, you can super poly their Alistair and your light monster into your own Makaba, and then say, like, if you end Infinity, Nova revives the Cyber Dragon, and then pass turn because they're not playing Fortress or whatnot, and I mean make your Infinity after your Nova, obviously. Standby phase, all Mirage, protect your Infinity from destruction. So now you have Cyber Dragon and Infinity. If anything, they're playing Mega Fleet, not Fortress, so your board's still proofed through it, unless you're at locals maybe, but I'm talking more high level competitiveness. And then you can super poly their Alistair and your Cyber Dragon into a Makaba, and now you got 2 negates, and they'll still get the search off of Alistair, but it's not really going to matter, because not only do you have Infinity, you also have your Makaba for 2 negates at that point too. So pretty good in that regard, that it can actually double up as a super poly target. Otherwise, Prank Kids is a really, really good deck. I have them as my 3rd best deck of the format. We did do a tier list. You guys are over here, not over here. If you guys did not see it already, go check out our tier list. Prank Kids, easily the best tier 2 deck, 3rd best deck of the format. Really, really strong. If you're wondering what the top 2 are, what do you think that hits, and what do you think that hits? Best 2 decks of the format, and then 3rd. It's always really nice when Super Poly hits the 3 best decks. Like, okay, I'll take it. And then testing, there was a lot of times where it came up, and it's like, oh, I guess I could have used something that needs a dark and a fusion, and Dragostapelia does just that. Even if, say, I've actually resolved Super Poly twice against like a weird Dragoon turbo deck where they were playing multiple copies of it actually, and I was able to hit the Verde and Dragoon once, and then Verde and Dragoon again, because fusion and dark, and it was just kind of funny. He was a little salty, but hey, that's what we enjoy the game for, right? So almost done with the extra deck. A little more controversy here, but I do stand by the decision. We were playing 2 Nova. We dropped it down to 1 because people don't pop Nova. Like, good players don't pop Nova. If they pop Nova, it's because they have a way to negate Nova's float effect. Good players don't do that. They know how to play around it. Well, Infinity can negate something, yeah, but they'll have a plan for it. And if they pop the Nova, you're getting a Makaba, which is a negate anyway. I mean, like, I don't know. I've very, very rarely had good players pop Nova without having another negate to stop it. And then we have our Infinity, and I can't tell you how many times I always detach Nova first, because then like Naxxer can revive Nova, and I can't tell you how many times, whether I'm doing that line of play and then Nova just kind of sits there as a way to beef up and deal 4200, in the damage step, or how many times like they go to the graveyard and you summon your next turn. It's like, okay, I gotta get infinity. Now I gotta absorb a card, hope they don't disrupt me at all in any time in this process, and then I can get a negate on board once I absorb something successfully. Or you play a second infinity. So now you can actually revive the Nova with your Naxter, and then you just overlay again, and now he has a negate the moment he hits the field. Or they do the other thing and they pop the Nova at this point because the game's breaking down. What's the worst thing that happens, right? Well, now you revive the Nova, they pop the Nova, you bring out that same Makaba and you get your negate anyway. So in this regards, whether you summon the Infinity, it has no negates, they destroy it. You summon the Nova, they destroy it, you get a negate. They don't, you get a negate. I really like the two Infinities. Comes up more than the two Novas does. Links then, Almirage, Seeger, and Verde. Nothing too fancy. Obviously, OTK enabler, free Rampage, just free. And I've actually did use it going first the one time to not only get core back in my hand, but I loaded my graveyard up for overload, cybernetic overflow. And in that replay, actually, because Verde locks you from special summoning, not normal summoning, I made Infinity Verde with no normal summon, because I think I just like special summoned Naxter and duped it. And then I made my Verde and made my Rampage at the end, milled hers and core, and hers get core back, normal summon core search overflow, and I was able to end with Infinity, Rampage, Verde. I had core on board too. I think I absorbed the core with emergence or with Infinity, so I had Verde, Rampage, Infinity, and I had overflow to pop too. So it was pretty good for what we initially could have had. But anyway, guys, this is the deck, this is the build, this is what I have been playing with quite a bit of success and having a lot of fun doing so. No Dragoon, it's kind of a nice wake up, refreshment. I'm not saying it's better than with Dragoon. They both have their pros and cons. They both have really different play styles, honestly, because if you're playing Dragoon, you do want to kind of focus on making it because it's such an insane card, whereas this build, I don't have to worry about the dead draws, and I do have to be a bit more creative, especially going first, and not just going first, but playing through disruption. That's what most people think. They say Dragoon goes first, Dragoon helps going first. This is what Dragoon does. You go first. Dragoon helps play through disruption so amazingly well. That's the biggest perk of it, honestly. And breaking boards, popping cards like Dark Ruler, make Dragoon pop their whole board. Now you have a negate too. Like, those are the big hits from Dragoon. It's not the going first. Cyber Dragon goes first just fine if you know what you're doing. Not saying they make crazy boards, not saying they make unbreakable boards, but Cyber Dragon has no problem making a board that you won't lose the game and your opponent won't have the greatest setup, that you can have a comeback on your turn. Anyway, guys, these are my thoughts. This is my build. Those couple budget alternatives. Instead of Pop, instead of Lightning Storm, play Cosmic, play Hey Trunade, and play Phantasme. So, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm talking to everyone who's not subscribed, you know, the 50% of you. And, yeah, let's hit 1,600 by the end of the month. It's not going to be that hard as long as we do it. And then someone will get an Overload Fusion Ultimate Rare, obviously. But you must also comment down below, because it's a lot easier to, you know, say, hey, let's hit 1,600 and comment down below, and one of those guys will get that card, because otherwise, one, it's hard to go through 1,600 people, and two, I know there's a good portion of you 1,600 who aren't really active in the group on the channel anymore, and it's just not fair to those who come back video after video after video. And I do want to, you know, make it more for the guys who are actually here watching. So comment down below, hit the subscribe button. Let's get someone that ultimate rare Overload Fusion. Thank you guys for watching once again, and take care.